G'day, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between. We are back today bringing you another episode of Spectate the Player, where as a Chapter 1, Season 1 veteran, we're bringing you guys the latest and greatest tips, tricks, strategies, and more to winning not only more games, but more crowns in Fortnite Chapter 6. So guys, as always, if you are keen to see if this player up ahead here with the crown will be able to send it back for the 2 for 2, make sure you guys do hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button. Alright, especially if you guys want to help us reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Alright, we started at the start. We are now halfway there. Can we do it? Look, with your support, I'm sure of it. Alright, now we do have him right here. I'm going to try to pretend to run away. Because sometimes, I tell you, we got Twitch TV Shammy again. I actually really like this player. Every time I tried to get Shammy, I tried to get him yesterday. I spent about 3 hours trying to get footage for you guys. I couldn't get a single game. And every crown player I got died in unfortunate situations. And Shammy was really, really good. But the only issue was they died to a full damage bug with shockwaves and landing on a car. So not too sure what happened here. But I'm so excited that we do have Shammy again. A very decent player here, guys. Running with the Sentinel Pump, as well as the OXR here. Coming up behind these two likely bots here. He does recognize it. Now, he recognizes fake for fake, but here we do have it, the B rank. Coming on in now for Shammy for the 3k to the name. 92 players remain. Now, we'll be able to get that B superhero boon, or at least that OXR boon here. The superheroes are gone, but 100% they have left their mark. You know, and I tell you what, who else is leaving a mark here? It's going to be Shammy with this bird in the sky. He tells me, but I tell you, there's quite a few places and things up in the sky. Quite a few places I like to shoot at as well. You know, and his enemy's foreheads is number 1 on that list. And now for the close range here with the sweeper, he sends him back. Mad Brad 50 will be going down there. 5Ks to the name already. Still not even a minute away into that first zone, and there is already an A rank. Right, that badge of honor that starts with the letter A for Shammy here. Alright, Twitch TV Shammy now going for the chest. He does pick up, nothing, just the ammunition. He says, but I tell you what, there's many things I want. One of them is going to be this spring leg medallion. However, we are in normals, guys. So if you guys do want that medallion, make sure you guys do head on into ranked. That is where you'll be able to find it. At the moment, all you're going to be getting from this queen is going to be the mythical OXR rifle. Alright, now this is a really good gun. I kind of prefer the Fury in certain circumstances and situations. Alright, it will be a lot more hard hitting than the Fury, this OXR, so do bear that in mind, especially if you guys get that mythical, or should we say the exotic. Alright, now going for these hive nests here. Well done to Shammy, trying to get rid of these swarmers here, which are going to be the melee bugs. Right, for this season, they will differ from the bombers, which will be the ranged. Now, if Shammy is fortunate enough here, they might actually get an early S rank off of this queen. We will have to wait and see, though. He does go now for the ammunition. He picks it up, now going for the shield. Splashes await him right here. Now, technically, you don't even need to really use your shield. 1, there is a slurp truck at this POI. And 2, you've got plenty of geysers. Now, if you guys jump on those geysers, they will grant you 30 health or shield, whatever you need, whilst also enabling you to redeploy, alright, and get that glider aspect. So, a lot of potentiality there. Shammy now spotting the bomber in the distance. Trying to clean up the trash here. Take out the trash, he says, but I'll tell you what, it is bin day currently for Shammy, and he is absolutely onto it like a mission. I tell ya, he's a missionary if I ever have seen one. Alright, here we go. The queen is here now. If you guys want a quick way to get rid of this queen, one of the greatest and more latest ways to go about it doing that is going to be using the airstrike. And apparently it can one-hit the queen, which is incredible if true. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys have managed to pull that number off. I think before this season ends, that is when we want to be doing it. We want to try and do that before the end of season. Alright, here, the queen is low. He's just double-checking, right? Because this is where a lot of players will try and third-party you. No, look, the Wrecker Revolver is a very nice gun. Personally, I would have just tried to shoot out with like 1 or 2 hits left on that queen, and then reloaded my gun, and then finish it off. And that way, no matter what happens, if someone does come up behind you to try and kill you as you go and take that mythical OXR, you know, you'll have 3/4 a magazine or more ready to use at your disposal. So, a lot of potentiality there as well. Now, he does have that A rank. He didn't get S, but he does have that A rank. Now, the G-Wagons are back in the game. Of course, we've got the Shockwave Grenade. We've got the Shockwave Hammers. We also have the Hand Cannons. We've got Snipers. Apparently a Lollipop. I don't know what that means. Apparently it's here. Alright, so we've got this A-Volt. Now, they have vaulted the Shockwave Grenade Launcher, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. There's quite a few changes. Alright, now, he is going to be waiting here outside this vault. Now, everyone else who is A rank will be able to see this vault. And he is going to get the Exotic Fury here. If he takes it, I'll be surprised. I'm surprised. That's interesting. Now, this will grant you the Hop Rock effect with every shot you fire. In that you get like a sort of a mini Flowberry Fizz effect, right? So a bit more bounce. I can hear some footsteps nearby, though. Shammy jumping on out now. It could be a bot. It's a player who's stuck there. Maribra 12 will be going down there. They got stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Alright, I tell ya, it looks like Shammy is for a moment there as well, but he is now S rank. 6K to the name, guys. If you have enjoyed this episode so far, you know what to do. Make sure you guys do hit that like button. And you hit that subscribe button. Shammy now poking out, getting the kill on Tiger Smash 3. And this is what we're talking about. That Hop Rock effect is going to give you a bit of bounce, a little bit of spring in your step. I mean, look, it won't be the Spring Leg Medallion, but it's going to be close to it. Alright, the purple Wrecker Revolver here for Shammy. He picks it up. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the Mythic. Hopefully he'll find it. Not a huge fan of the Exotic. I think, for me, I like to double pump. So when I'm double pumping with that Wrecker Revolver, and if you guys are double pumping as well, totally 100% recommend picking up the Mythical over the Exotic, because you don't need that extra fire rate. You don't need that headshot multiplier. Sure, it would be nice, but at the same time, you're not using it for that. You know, you're using it with two guns, a shotgun as well as that Wrecker. Shammy's actually jumped over a person. Might need to rewind that in 0.25 speed, but let me know if you guys saw that person as well Shammy just went over, or if I'm imagining things. Fiction Point will be going down there to Shammy. Now, Fiction Point did get a kill, but unfortunately, his killing spree was not maintained, at least in regards to that momentum. He does get the high ground here with that Shockwave, utilizing the Hop Rock effect as well of the Fury to increase the damage, the movement mobility there. So he goes faster, he goes further, I mean. Goes on top, he rearranges himself for the entrance. Here he goes for the close range, sending back these bots, seemingly bots to the lobby, but I'll tell you what, one piece of advice, guys, that has absolutely saved me some embarrassing deaths has been to treat players like they are real. Alright, now there are some footsteps nearby. Now that is a real player. He's got the jump on them. Shammy now trying to follow up. They're trying to run away, but sometimes, I tell you, sometimes you just can't escape the ShamWow. The ShamWow factor, that's for sure. Well played to Shammy there. 11Ks to the name. Trying to get this player down. They have been taken off guard. He checks the bush, but of course, they're right there in front of him. Clumsy Laho will be going down. Now for the Shockwaves, he ignores the boon. He says, Butter, I don't need it. Butter, I'm already in S rank, but I tell you, why do you tease me with these fallacies of what I need to do? Of course, he doesn't need to do them. Now, what he can do is try to rotate around. Now, because there is no actual medallions in the game, you can't really hunt players. But you can sort of use mental mind maps, right? Like if there is a vault with A still, sort of still on that vault, you can know, okay, maybe I should go for that vault next because it hasn't been taken. Alright, now bear in mind, some players won't actually grab the exotics. Like for me, if I find an exotic Wrecker Revolver, I'm leaving it in there. I might try and hide it underneath a staircase or two, so do go check that out. But most of the time, I'm going to be hiding it, right? I'm not going to be trying to go for it. Shammy does disregard the G-Wagon. He says, Butter, I never liked you anyway. Never liked your strategies, never liked your tips. I'd rather be in a car with less fuel, less health, and just all-round less utility, less cover as well. Tell you what, not a sight for sore eyes for me anyway. I'll be going for that G-Wagon every day of the week, twice on Sundays. Alright, that's the way I roll. Shammy here, rolling up behind this player. Irritated Iris will be going down. He now has the high ground here on these two tangos down below. Now with the Hop Rock effect, he should be able to avoid fall damage, but a little bit, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't pick up the Fury or that Hop Rock effect. I want to be down on the ground ASAP. The close range here for Shammy. He uses the Wrecker Revolver. It works. DK, the Dark Knight, will be going down. They're dropping the exotic on the Flowberry Fizz. Look, some players can pull it off. You know, some players can pull off that Flowberry Fizz effect, and you know what? That's okay. You know, I think if you can, that is fantastic. You should probably strive to be able to do so. However, For me, I find it's a little bit too much out of my depth. Alright, I think, if you can practice with it, it can work, but at the same time, there's a chance it can grief you, like we saw with Shammy before. You know, if that player has really good aim, and you were in the air for too long of a period, you know, most of these guns, you got to remember, they can't even scope in, really. Especially when you guys are just jumping up in the air, you don't have that ability to. So, you're going to be wildly inaccurate going up against a wildly accurate player. You know, this is where it starts to get a little bit griefy, and this is where I start to go, you know what? I think I'm going to go stick with my Mythic. You know, it does a lot of damage. You know, it has a lot of just some really great effects in general in terms of, you know, being able to send these players back to the lobby. And I think, you know, at some point you start to get a little bit greedy. You know, how much do I really want that mobility? You know, he's got his shockwaves. He has the Flowberry Fizz. Now, he's also got the legendary Slurp Juice here, which is fantastic. We do see a few people down below fighting here. Be mindful not to land on those towers, because I'm pretty sure, okay, he says, but I tell ya. Again, never have I listened. Alright, he goes for the high ground here, jumping down slowly. So slowly. It makes me worry sometimes, you know, it really does. But look, for 15Ks to the name, and still only 12 players remain. With a perfect game, Shammy could finish off with a, what would that be, a 27? A 27 kill streak for this crown win, which would be completely insane here. But I tell you, coming up behind this player, they weren't expecting it. They go down for the double. He doesn't have a pump, but it will work. One and the same. Pud, 641369. Now for the S plus rank drop, you will get a mythic here. What will he get? Will he get the... I think he's probably going to get the shotgun. Everyone gets the shotgun. I tell you, every time I see it, it is the most, in my opinion, useless mythic. It's great. It's fantastic. Who am I kidding? Solo camper 8, however, he could smell the shotgun. He says, buddy, you're tripping. That is a great gun. A lot of damage there. It might be really good as well with the double pump. I don't know. I haven't really used it much. I've used it maybe once at the start of the season, and that was about it. Personally, for me, there's an assault rifle that is mythic in there that is really, really nice. I would like that for me anyway, but here we go. Jumping on top. He does do a shot before he jumps on, so he has that Flowberry effect, that hop rock effect, which again will increase all mobility items. That includes your launch pads. Right, this will give him that greater height, which can give him greater rotation ability. Now checking down below, Shammy, absolutely a hawk in the sky right now, looking for prey. Now, whether they're alive, whether they're dead, or whether they are fleeing their own battles of sort, I think Shammy is just going to be showing us time and time again, and kill again, right? Just how persistent and consistent they are. Now, one of the things I'm not too happy or enthused about in terms of his strategy, I think there's someone in the lake. Not down there, but down there. Right down near the thing. You might need to rewind that, guys, in 0.25 and let me know if you guys saw it. There's a hell of a speck of an ant. I'm pretty sure there is a person down there, actually. But one of the things that Shammy could be doing a little bit better, I think, is dropping that Fury. Now, look, a lot of players are going to say the Fury is great, you know, especially this exotic. A lot of players are going to recognize the real for the real, and they're going to say, buddy, you're wrong. You know, you're wrong on this. Whilst it is a great gun, whilst it does do a lot of damage, whilst it is incredibly accurate, and I am in love with the Fury, don't get me wrong. Right, someone down below there has just cracked one of the hive locations. Whilst this all is true, at the same time, that hop rock effect can be quite griefing, and I would want to be really careful late game if I was Shammy. He takes advantage of this shockwave hammer player, but I tell you what, Korean Jesus 118 does not stand a chance against the Wrecker Revolver. I don't think anyone does. You know, I think it's just one of those things. Now, what Shammy could do here is actually use his surplus of those legendary Slurp Juices, because it will heal over time. Right, it does heal over time, which means he can use it, he can run around. They're fantastic to use before fights, so that way, you know, you can get into the fight. If you do get damaged, you know, not the greatest thing. However, it is not too bad if you guys do have that Slurp Juice already activated, because you'll just heal up, you know, and it can be very disorientating as well if a player thinks you're low, and then they get out of a point of, like, say, cover, or where they feel safe, to sort of finish you off, because, oh, he should be one hit, right? Only to find out you've got an extra 150 health there, and they are now without their point of cover. So, they can be really, really great for so many different reasons, these Slurp Juices. I don't think he should have thrown it out, but it is what it is. Again, he's got the high ground here. 18 kills to the name here. 7 players remain for Shammy. And I kind of want to check out his stream right now, but I mean, for now, look, we just got to sort of spectate this. We've got to commentate. We've got to go through what is going on through my mind here. But essentially, guys, what I want to sort of elaborate on real quick as well is the fact that, oh, there's a bit of a firefight down here. He does try and go. I haven't seen the Swarm Strike in a while. That's one thing I've noticed, and I'm so excited about it. Alright, he's got the heal here. Sending back Blip Laps and Anonymous 304 to the lobby. 20Ks to the name. I tell you, it's a hell of a game. Hell of a game, a hell of a pain. They might have actually vaulted the Swarm Strike. If that is the case, guys, please do let me know down below in the comment section. I hope so. I really do. And guys, as always, if you have enjoyed this episode so far, help us reach that goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Alright, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Alright, now Shammy rotating out to the west side of the HQ here. Some shots up top. Alright, if he wants a hammerhead chopper, he can go up here. There will be 3 refueling pads as well for those helicopters. He gets that hop rock effect. I can definitely see why a lot of players use it. You know, it's great for mobility. Just try not to use it too much in front of another player. I'm really a dog, and Navy Quail will be going down there. I tell you what, it is an insane day to be Shammy right now. He is saying, Butter, this is crazy. But I'll tell you why are they giving me these free kills? I tell you one thing, right? And I think this is what I do really like about Shammy is they were always on the move. They are constantly and consistently looking for more players to get rid of. They have come into the game with one objective, which is to get as many kills as possible, you know, at all costs. And I think that is brilliant. You know, not only are you going to be able to avoid the total amount of third parties you will have late game, but additionally, you know, you're going to be able to sort of thin that herd. You're going to make the game more easier for you because you have gone out of your way to get these kills. And as additionally, the score looks good, right? You're going to be getting out of your comfort zone. You will be practicing your aim as well. So if you guys are doing tournaments and are like a couple of players down here, Shammy about to finish them off, I assume, down near this volcano, or at least this lake. I tell you, it was this lobby. You know, I just think it was a very fortunate time for Shammy. Anonymous 328 and Shrimp Heaven going down there for the 24 kill finish. Well played to Shammy, guys. If you did enjoy that episode, let me know down below in the comment section. And as always, take care, Garnier.